Hey guys, Andrew McFarland here from StartAJuiceBar.com. Hope you're happy and healthy. Hope you're inspired to launch your business or grow your existing business. Today we're talking about how you can ensure that you are not overwhelmed when it comes to launching your juice bar. I talk to a lot of people, and this comes up a lot. I have this sense, and some people actually will just tell me like, hey, I feel overwhelmed with all the things that I don't know. And if you're watching this channel, you might be in a similar place. So I'm going to talk about some things that will really help you relieve some of that stress and some of that overwhelm as you're going through the process. But before I do, if you're new to the channel, you don't know who I am and you don't know what we do, over the last decade, myself and our company has had the pleasure of running our own concepts as well as helping hundreds of entrepreneurs all over the world launch and scale successful juice bars, smoothie bars, acai bowl businesses, and more. All the information on this channel is coming from that wealth of experience. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, early invitation, appreciate you, and also just for your own benefit because you want to get alerted when we release new content. And now we're going to dive in. Okay, so you're potentially in a place where you are in the early phases of starting your juice business, or you're thinking about getting into the industry and you're just full of questions, right? You've got way more questions than answers. You're thinking about the stress of licensing. What licenses do I need? What equipment do I need? What vendors do I need? How do I even find these people? How do I sign up for the accounts? There's just all these questions. And this is overwhelming you, which I totally understand because I was in a similar place. Like, just the idea of getting licenses was like really scary to me. And then now in hindsight, I realized something like getting licenses is it's just not a big deal. Once you know what licenses you need, you get them, okay? It's very simple. And so there are two key things that I want to really point out in this process of helping to relieve some of the stress. Okay, the first thing is that you want to get guidance in this process because, of course, if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know where to go and you have no map, it's going to be overwhelming. And now, just as an example, we've got applications which give us guidance, right? That's our mentor. If I need to go from where I live and I want to get to the grocery store, or I want to go to the high school, or I want to go anywhere, I want to get to the airport, what do? I type it in my phone, this is where I want to go, and then a plan pops up, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I can get there because I know where I'm going and I know how to get there. I have an efficient route. If I didn't have that, you know how overwhelmed I would feel trying to figure out, what am I going to look at the stars or like check the wind or see if I can hear something? It's going to be overwhelming just to try to do the simplest things if I have no guide. And so granted, if you are watching this channel, you're trying to get guidance, but at the same time, there's so much that goes into everyone's unique situation that I highly recommend that you find people who have gone through the path before. This is what we do. So reach out to me personally at Andrew@StartAJuiceBar.com. We can have that conversation and we can guide you through the process. That's going to relieve a heavy amount of overwhelm, and it's going to save you time. It's going to save you money. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you take that first step, is to realize that you don't have to know everything before you take your first step, okay? I often use this analogy that it's like if you have a meal in front of you, how do you eat your meal? You take it one bite at a time. You don't think that I need to be able, before I eat any of this food, I need to make a plan to say, okay, I need to swallow this whole thing at once. Because if I do that, I'm gonna choke. And that's oftentimes what people are doing when it comes to information. They're trying to learn everything all at the same time, because what your mind is telling you is, if I don't know enough and I don't know everything, I can't take the first step. And this is wrong, okay? Just like if you're learning a new sport, you'll be in the locker room, you'll learn a little bit about how to play basketball, for example, and then you'll go and practice. And then you learn some new skills and you come back and you say, okay, what's next, coach? And then you'll say, okay, now you're ready to move on to this. We'll teach you this other skill. And then eventually you've gotten so good because you've taken it one step at a time. You have to learn the fundamentals and then go beyond that. There's a process to learning that is more or less beneficial. And a lot of people actually aren't good, unfortunately, at teaching themselves things because they don't understand the process of learning effectively. So what happens is you start to get overwhelmed. You're looking at videos, you watch all these videos online, and while it's giving you some answers, it's starting to create more questions even than answers. And you just get to the point where you're like, I'm just not even going to do this because I don't think I can. But if you knew that you could take it step by step and you could digest things, if you want to focus, and this is what we do when we work with our clients, we start focusing on particular elements. We say, okay, let's look at the menu, let's look at the branding, let's really dive into that deeply. Okay, now let's look at analyzing locations and let's go really deeply into that. Because in many ways, it's a step-by-step process. And you have to take it as such so you can digest it, you can learn, you can grow, you can mature, and you're not trying to hold too much when you're not prepared for it yet, because it can be very difficult to do that. So that's not the route. So the first thing, like I said, is you want to focus on getting guidance. This will give you a lot more ease because you'll know that you're working with individuals or an individual that has been through the process before. Everybody, whether it's, Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players, he still had a coach. He still had trainers. Everybody has coaches and trainers and mentors. It saves you tons of time and money. I remember actually recently I was walking on the beach and I just thought it was a really beautiful metaphor. I was walking on the sand where there was no path, and it's not easy to walk in sand when it's just loose sand. And then I noticed there were some people that were walking in front of us, and they had left some footsteps. And I started stepping in their footsteps, and I realized it's so much easier because they've packed the ground down, they've gone through the stress, and now I can step in their footsteps, and it's just so much more supportive. It takes less energy for me to walk when I walk in someone else's footsteps. And this is exactly the same when you can utilize a strategy, a process. I promise you, I went through that whole process of doing it on my own, and it was very expensive and it was very overwhelming. It was really stressful because I didn't have any guidance. And then now it took me many, many years to figure out, okay, what did I do wrong and what would I do again if I had the opportunity to start over? And now we know. And so this is what we teach other people. That's the first thing. And the second thing, like I said, is take it one step at a time. Because if you don't have guidance, you don't even know what steps you should take. You don't even know what the sequence of events is. And so it's going to be very difficult to say, okay, I'm taking the right step right now. It's hard to do that. This is why these two things are interlinked. Once you have the guidance, then you can say, okay, let's take it one step at a time. And then the last thing that I want to share is if you have fear beyond just not knowing what to do, and fear will overwhelm you, because the fear might strictly just be emotional in the sense that you're going to be making a commitment, whether it's signing a lease or investing your own or someone else's money in a substantial amount that you haven't in your life. I can understand that. And granted, I can't fully just tell you to jump off the bridge because that's a personal journey for you. But what I can tell you is that everybody and most people go through some variation of this. Some people more or less, but understand that there are people that have gone through it and you're not alone in that journey. And ultimately, my invitation is to focus on the reason why you're doing it. Don't focus on all the things that can go wrong. Focus on your inspiration. Focus on the people in your community that need to heal because you need to open this business. Focus on the fact that you want to change either your job and you don't want to keep working in the same job and you want to do something you're truly inspired by. Focus on the fact that you want to expand your income and create generational wealth in a way that's in integrity for you. Focus on all the things that you're creating and move in that direction and do it intelligently and know that it is possible. So that's what I want to leave with you guys with. Once again, if you guys do need support and you're really ready to go from either being overwhelmed or misguided or confused or lost and just kind of circling your way around the internet trying to piece things together to really moving in a straight line and doing it right, reach out to me personally at Andrew@StartAJuiceBar.com. Would be happy to talk about how we can help you. And then lastly, if you haven't pressed the like button yet, another invitation to do that. Questions, comments, you know where they go. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Follow us on Instagram. They're exclusive giveaways that we only release on Instagram at StartAJuiceBar. And then lastly, we have a podcast. It's on iTunes, it's on Spotify. It's called the Juice Bar Experts Podcast. I know you're going to love it if you love the content on YouTube. Till next time, wishing you guys a lot of success. This is Andrew McFarland with StartAJuiceBar.com. I'll see you soon. Hope you guys have been enjoying the video content. If you are inspired to launch your juice business, but you're not exactly sure what steps to take, for you, we've created a free ebook, 15 Steps to Starting a Juice Business from Scratch. This is going to give you a high-level overview of everything you need to do from where you are now all the way to opening your business. Now, if you want to go even deeper, we've created an online course, the Juice Bar Master Blueprint. This is going to go into great detail into every aspect of starting your business, everything from branding, to menu development, to finding the right location, the equipment that you need, and so much more, all the way to launching your business. There's links for both of these in the description below. I know you're going to find a lot of value out of them. As always, hope you guys are happy and healthy, wishing you a lot of success, and I'll see you at the next video.